There he went. That into a ditch. Ooh!
Poured down. Help! Help! Cried Thomas.
Whale Percy, help!
And across the line. A kick snapped and the gear jammed in the sleepers.
Oh! His eyes. It's backwards.
Edward's wheels slipped fiercely, and with a shrieking crack...
Oh! But it was too late. He so hard, he banged the trucks hard into the buffers, but the buffers weren't stopped.
Then...
Often came off the... They said... There's... Peter Sam... Oh... Now there'll be trouble. And there was.
Cranky banged
Inside the truck. That lot was too late.
But not Sir Topham Hatt. Oil splashed everywhere. Worse.
Veered out of control, and the fat controller landed in a muddy ditch. Is... Stop! The trucks plunged into the river. Forward and rammed the water tower. He shouted, but it was too... Ah! Cried James, what's happening? Crash, bang, wallop went... Oh, help, Gordon cried as he slid off the tracks. And coal dust, and he took off. His whistle shot off like a mighty rock. Fergus was covered in rocks. He danged track. Round. Bertie revved his end through a pipe. There was a loud crash. There is deep snowdrift.
Right into Percy, and the bunting flew up into the air.
Over the road. Under the hopper. Cinders and engine coughed. Then it started to splutter. Black, smelly smoke billowed from his exhaust. Mavis started billowing smoke too. So do I. Soon, all the other diesels had broken down. Harry, Bert, even Salty had drowned. Coal, fifth. Trucks hurtled into a siding, they slipped and fell all over the box, splashed into the duck pond. Them very hot. into a big pile of snow. Sling broke. Thomas shot forward. Coco them an extra big shot. Thomas. But that night, a fierce storm swept through the island. It was the strongest wind the engines had ever known. It blustered and blew. The wind howled down the tracks and tore down the trees. It ripped off roofs and flattened fences. It even blew Gordon's tent away. The wind blew all night long. So the suspension bridge twisted and shook in the gale. Then there was trouble. Paint pots flew into the bump. Soon the diesels and the steamies were biffing and banging and being bumped all over the island. The water tower crashed down a telegraph pole and they all could and the carriage see the goods train ahead until it was too late. But it was too... It rolled onto... There was another balloon. Suddenly he bumped into a truck. The truck rolled into a lever. The trucks bumped into the back of Thomas, and suddenly the roof collapsed. Oh. His flatbed biffed into the sidings to a stack of roofing slate and smashed it into tons. But it was too late. Push my buffers! Cried Percy. Max broke the water supply pipe. Water gushed everywhere. Monty and Monty crashed into the lightning tree. They skidded off the track and into a ditch. But it was too late. The chimney rocked, the bricks crumbled, the workmen and the foreman took cover. Oliver and Thomas
Cat out of kittens with his scoop. And just in time. Meow, said the cat. Meow, meow, said the kitten.
the truck very hard. It bumped into the air. Then splash. Neus raced right off the track. Trucks hit the buffers and trucks collapsed. Pipes with a loud crunch. The buffers. Big boof into a set of buffers. And he bashed into the barrier. Dusty jumped and he biffed his trucks in surprise. Flour bent so hard the buffers smashed and splashed into the canal. Of the way and late, Toby splashed buffers. Oh, but they crashed. The mud sprayed.
Toppled off the track. It smashed into the tower. As the tower crashed to the ground, crashed straight through the block tunnel. Thomas landed in a pool of water, a thick wall of bushes, bottom of the hill.
He hit the buffers. The bunting went everywhere. The magnificent... The level crossing. Stepney bashed into Emily. The cream churns crashed. The track started to sink. Emily was stuck to the ground. It burst and smashed straight into the... Thomas bashed in off the rails. Thomas and Diesel smashed Harry and Bert into them. The logs started to roll down the hill. Thomas clanked off the rails and bashed his buffers with a bump from his flatbed.
Bashed into Dunk, bashed into Rusty's car, spattered all over the engine. Sploosh and a splosh. Potato collie barrel. All over scrunch, a scratch of too quickly. Lamp rope Spencer fell off. They clanged and they cracked.
And it cracked a muddy ditch to a haystack. Mavis dropped the crates. Trucks bounced high in the air. He hit a button. Right. Biggest puff. A fat control from his wing straight into the deep. The Joby crashed and smashed in the last, and a loco on flew. A crack, rock and rubble cracked down. Bounced off Ferdinand and Frank crashed and bounced and rolled buffers. 2 trucks, four trucks. James had shot old truck. Cork hit me. And the kicks hit the signal. The buffers. Rollers hat. Trouble. He bashed and he bashed, crunch and a crack. Bounced off Ed or had run out, just swinging off into splutter. Then they jittered and Joby log high in the pond. Shadow down there, clatter. They to bash and a bash and a terrible smack. Oh, well, bashed all in air. Soon bounced. Charlie then back the bus to bash and he knocked against the wheel, bashed into bed with axe. Emily prized towards the splattered. Heard the trees fall. The crunch with their pistons as never before.
Crash! Down into it.
And bump, splash. His wheels were too big for them.
Smoke swirled. Wrench then, old Wheezy flew everywhere.
Rocky right onto Edward's up and it dropped onto he hit the buffers. He dropped his cam, crashed and he straight right off the rails and bashed. The Diesel's go clattered cloud of the track. And into the sea. He wasped and jumped up rise. His key he wet tracked a crap wherever. And he could. Peter sat careful engine. And Thomas had hit a rock. And forwards.
giant. Into the sea.
Maybe I should have.
Thomas!
Do you want you or it isn't?
Yes, it is! The others!
Full of blood.
Stop, Billy!
And look out!